coming in. Appreciate it. All right, we'll get started with Jose. We'll start with Chandler on your right.
Jose, we know how much you love to swing first pitch. Has that been something you've done your whole life? And kind of who maybe taught you that, or how long have you kind of had that approach?
I think all my career, since I remember playing in minor leagues or little league, I was just that type of player that likes to swing the bat, and I don't think it's any reason why should I change right now. So, I just like the way I go there and try to swing good pitches sometime.
Across the aisle, Brian.
This could be sort of a bullpen game tonight for the Phillies. I mean, you could see 3 or 4 different pitchers. What kind of challenge is that as a hitter when you got to get ready for different guys every time you're up?
I think we are focused on the starter today. Obviously nobody knows how long he's going to go, so we just focus on him, and then depending on how the game develops, just focus on the next guy and then the next guy, and try to get a good approach and a game plan for whoever we're facing in whatever inning.
Stay in the same row.
Can you talk about how you guys are hoping to keep the momentum tonight, but also to get to Syndergaard early?
Yeah, no, I think we're going to go out there and play our game. I think we faced him twice this year before tonight's game. So just like I said, create a good game plan and a good approach for the lineup, and try to score early in the game and go from there.
Go back to Chandler on your right.
There have been a lot of off days for you guys during this postseason for a sport that you guys play every day during the regular season. How difficult of an adjustment has that been in October to have stop and start and have so many off days?
I think we've been doing good. That's why I think we're here since the start of playoff. We've been playing good ball, and just we are in the World Series, so that means we as a team doing good.
Claire in the second row on your right, Jose.
Jose, how did the rally with consecutive hits, which had been kind of missing for a while, how did that allow the lineup as a whole to relax?
I think that was a good inning, obviously, for us last night. It was the only inning where we scored some runs and good enough to win the game. And yeah, we got like 3 hits in a row, then Alvarez get hit, and Breggy with the big double, and then a sac fly and another hit by Julie. I think it was a great inning, good bats in a row that, sometimes you're gonna do that, sometimes not. That's why it's baseball. And like I said, just happy that we could do that yesterday and allow us to win the game and tie the series.
Up front to your right, then Mark.
Last night was obviously pretty historic for the franchise, baseball in general. Real Muto and Rob Thompson kind of just said, hey, one game, got to move on. What about you guys, though? How do you move on from such an historic night to this goal?
Same thing. We move on. Obviously, the game yesterday was great, but we got to go out there and win tonight. This is tie series, so I think tonight's game is probably the most important game for both sides. So I know we both going to try to win it and go from there.
Up front on your left, Jose. Do we have the microphone, Mark?
It's right here.
Yep. So we'll go to the back center.
José, tú llevas ya varios años jugando con Justin Verlander. ¿Puedes decir qué ha significado él para ti, lo que representa él para este equipo de los Astros?
Creo que representa mucho, no solo para mí, sino para el equipo, para la fanaticada, para toda la organización, por la ética de trabajo que ha tenido. Es un pitcher que no solo lo ha hecho bien este año, sino a lo largo de su carrera. Tiene Cy Young, tiene MVP, tiene muchas cosas que de verdad requieren de mucho trabajo y dedicación, y estamos todos muy contentos de que él sea el pitcher para esta noche.
Across the aisle on your right, Bill.
You've won a World Series. You might win another here in a few days. You've won multiple batting championships. What would you like to accomplish in this game that you haven't yet?
I want to win this year. Obviously, that's why we're here. And I think I just like to think one day at a time. My goal is to win tonight's game and then win another one and be able to win this World Series and then go from there. Maybe my next goal is win another World Series. So I just like to think about today's game, and like I said, it's going to be a big game for both teams, and we're going to do everything we can to win it.
Third row on your right, Greg.
Jose, I believe you might have just been asked about Justin Verlander. Your faith in him on this stage, everybody's well aware of his World Series record, but Alex explained to us tonight, you've seen him pitch so well so many times that this team perhaps has the ultimate faith that he'll go out and deliver tonight.
No, obviously we have faith in him. He's been a great pitcher, like I just said, not only this year, but all his career. And he got Cy Jones MVP, all that kind of stuff. And, we as a team, we are really happy that he's our guy tonight.
We'll go to the second row on your left, Tyler.
Jose, you've played at your home park. Your whole career has been Minute Maid Park, and the season's going to end there again. What do you like about that ballpark? What do you like about playing in Houston, maybe compared to other places, and maybe especially these last few years where it's tough for you guys on the road from fans, but in Houston they always love you. What do you like about that?
I think that our fans are great. They support us no matter the situation we're at, and for us as a team, that's our motivation, like daily motivation to go out there. And it seems like every time we win a game is our way to pay them back for all the support and like I said, motivation they give us every day.
Go to the third row on your left.
José, cuando estás en temporada regular, que estás buscando una marca o en este caso cuando un pitcher llega a la séptima, la octava entrada lanzando un sin hit, pues juegas para él, ¿no? O sea, estás buscando el que no, en un error, pero cuando estás en playoff buscando ganar una serie mundial, ¿cómo fue para ustedes el día de ayer estar sabiendo que estaban en medio de un juego sin hit? ¿Es diferente? ¿Se siente igual? ¿Qué tan diferente es el enfoque que puedes tener?
Yo diría que un poco diferente. La meta al igual es ganar el encuentro. Pero creo que sí, durante la temporada regular piensas más en el pitcher que en cualquier otra cosa. Quieres ayudarlo a lograr ese no hit, no run. Pero en playoff sí quieres que suceda, pero la meta principal sigue siendo la victoria. Piensas que si conectan uno o par de hits no importa siempre y cuando ganen, pero ya al finalizar el juego y pudimos lograr las dos cosas, tanto el no-hit como la victoria, creo que es bastante agradable, no solo para nosotros, sino para la fanaticada, aunque ya hoy es otro día y hay que empezar de cero.
Go to the left center aisle in the middle.
José, ¿qué tan difícil ha sido jugar en este estadio frente a esta afición? Sé que obviamente ustedes han jugado en estadios con bastante ruido, ¿no? Y también, ¿qué tanta atención le prestan a las estadísticas, sabiendo que normalmente el equipo que gana el juego 5, el 70% de las veces gana la serie?
O sea, yo creo que las estadísticas son eso, estadísticas. No hemos jugado el partido de hoy, nosotros solo vamos a enfocarnos en ganar el encuentro y no pensar en nada más. Como lo dije, hoy es un juego tan importante para los dos equipos y jugar en este parque creo que ha sido una experiencia diferente, pero ayer tuvimos un buen partido. Sabemos que son unos fanáticos muy apasionados y que están apoyando a su equipo y pues esperamos lo mismo para esta noche y haremos todo lo posible para ganar el encuentro.
Other questions for Jose?
Awesome.
All right, Jose, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Brian Abreu will be in a bit. Awesome. Thanks to you. What's up, Brian? How you doing? How are you? Hey, Jen Lee. How you doing? All right, Brian, thanks for coming in. Part of history last night. Appreciate it. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Chandler in the middle.
Brian, how beneficial is it to have both Josh Miller and Bill Murphy, who were with you in the minor leagues, now at the big league level? How beneficial has that been in your big league career?
I think I got a lot of benefits, they just watched me since I was younger. They've been working a lot on me, and I think that is a pretty benefit for me.
We'll go to Brian across the aisle. Oh, I'm sorry.
Brian, ¿qué se le aprende a un jugador de la talla de Justin Verlander, ustedes que comparten pues el grupo de lanzadores, y qué opinas que tal vez este podría ser su último juego?
Se aprende bastante de Justin, un hombre de mucha experiencia, mucho tiempo en el béisbol. Sus picheos, uno aprende cómo lo usa, cómo rotan, a cómo manejarse en el terreno, fuera del terreno también. Se aprende bastante de personas así de tanta experiencia, y de verdad que ha sido un honor y un privilegio verlo lanzar.
I'll go to Brian. My apologies.
What did you learn from Pedro Martinez the other day, and what it was like to talk to him for a little while?
He was talking to me, and he was just saying a couple histories of him, like when he was playing the Expos and what he made. Like he just told me like he was playing a bad team, and out of 17 games he won, he got to like 13 complete games that year, and he was just telling me a couple of histories and telling me how proud is he for me.
We'll stay in that same row on your left with Tim.
How much credit do you give Christian Vázquez for what you pitchers were able to accomplish last night?
I mean, I had to give him a lot of credits, like he's a catcher. He was calling the right pitches. He was aggressive, attacking the strike zone. He's been doing awesome, like he came from another team and tried to adapt us and learn how we use all the pitches. I got to give him a lot of credits of it.
Fifth row, right center aisle, Danielle.
When Vázquez did first come over and you guys were all getting used to him as a staff, what were those conversations like? Like, what questions did he ask you guys as pitchers, and what questions maybe did you ask him, or what did you tell him to help him with that?
Mostly, Vázquez doesn't get close a lot with the pitchers to talk straight. He probably asked Maldonado as a catcher, have to learn how to like all the breakers of us and our pitchers' usage. When he come close to us, it's probably ask about the location that he want all the pitches, and that's probably the most thing that he does with us.
Go to Tyler in the third row on your right, Brian.
Brian, when did you realize that you had the ability to spin the ball the way you do, and how do you think anybody ever hits that slider?
I don't know. Before time with the Astros, I just have the ability to spin the ball by myself. I just think like it's something naturally that I do. And I don't know, I just try to throw my slider in the right location, because obviously we are playing against the best hitters in the world. That's what we call Major League. And if I miss it, for sure they're going to hit it.
Other questions for Brian? We'll go right up front here, and then Mark.
Two-parter here. Who has the ball, first of all? And last night when you're coming in, obviously this is a pretty important game last night, but what's that pressure like when you have to hold a no-hitter?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize that we were throwing a no-hitter. I just came in, I was just so focused on execute all the pitches, that's a really important game for us. And I was just started the hitter down there in the bullpen, and I didn't watch the box score. And I just came in and execute all the pitches.
What's the ball?
Probably in the Hall of Fame. I don't know.
We'll go to Mark right up front.
Brian, has it hit you what you guys did last night? Do you have your arms around it?
Excuse me?
Has it hit you what you guys did last night with the history-making game that you and your teammates had?
They were pretty excited about us, like supporting each other, and they were pretty happy. And I don't know. That was awesome, like being part of the history of baseball. And what can I say?
Go to the third row.
Brian, so when you pitch at home, the energy of the crowd obviously must play into how you perform. How was it yesterday in this ballpark that's, you can hear the crowd from blocks away? You guys managed to silence the crowd. How does that play into how you pitch in a game?
It's mostly about mindset, like We just have to be focused on execute all the pitches. Like, you know, we are aware that the crowd is part of the game, and they're always gonna be pretty loud, even if home or away. But we just have to stay focused, like me and the catcher. That's probably the main thing. And pitches like with a crowd like that, like just kind of quiet and all this stuff, that helped a lot to focus better.
Other questions for Brian? Nothing else? Brian, congratulations, continued success. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Dusty should be down in a few minutes. All right, we will get started with Dusty, and we'll start with Chandler. 4 rows back on your right, Dusty.
How much do you think it's helped your young pitchers to have Josh Miller and Bill Murphy, who were with most of them in the minor leagues, at the big league level?
Well, I think it helped them a lot. I mean, you know, being familiar with someone professionally and personally, you know, which guys you can push, which guys need to be left alone. You know, it is a, you know, people's sport and profession, and the more you know about that person, then the easier it is to, you know, convey your message to that person.
Go 2 rows behind on your right, Brian.
Dusty, Altuve was just saying that he has faith that Verlander is going to be Verlander tonight. Bregman was saying that last night, that the entire clubhouse believes. From your perspective, having watched him the entire season, you know what he can do. It's probably just a matter of one thing happening.
Right.
How much confidence do you have that Justin Verlander can break through this tonight?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of confidence. And, you know, I mean, this guy's had a great career, and it's not over yet. And, you know, we always have some things that we have to overcome, no matter how great you are. And so, you know, I was with Barry Bonds when he overcame that. You know, he didn't have very good postseasons. And oh yeah, I mean, we got full confidence in Justin. Everybody's wondering, is he on a short leash? I mean, no, he didn't have a leash at all. I mean, he's Justin Verlander. And then, you know, nobody can get out of trouble better than him. I mean, I've seen it over and over and over, and hope he doesn't get in trouble, and just hope that, you know, he's Verlander.
Other questions for Dusty? I'll go to Bill and then Danielle.
Dusty, you mentioned Barry Bonds' postseason career and Justin's, and Kershaw in LA has had the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much did that matter in a player's legacy?
Well, it matters. That's what people remember. I mean, that's all that. I got 2,000 wins. All they talk about is I didn't win the World Series yet. You know, so what's the difference? You know what I mean? So, yeah, it matters. It matters to the people. It matters to us.
Go to Danielle.
Abreu has said a couple times now that he had no idea that a no-hitter was in progress when he came in last night. What do you think hearing him say that?
Well, hey, man, I'm glad he didn't know. You know, sometimes when you know, you put extra pressure on yourself. And the fact that he did know just meant that he just went out there and pitched. And, I mean, I knew. Most guys know. But, and that's one of his best buddies out there that was pitching, you know, prior to him. So I'm just glad that, you know, he's went out there and threw the ball the way he was throwing it, because he was outstanding.
Go to the first row on your right.
Obviously, last night being pretty historic, like with the no-hitter and everything.
Yes.
Real Muto and Rob Thompson both said that for them, just one game, move on, Game 5 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys, though, on the winning end? You have to celebrate such an historic night, but then try to keep everything even-keeled.
Yeah, well, you celebrate, but you don't celebrate long. I mean, like I said last night, it's a daily game. I mean, you know, they had 5 home runs off us, beat us 7-0 the night before. And then last night was our night. And so this is, I mean, it's a new night. And I'm just glad that, we won last night, to have a new night.
Go to Claire, then Tyler.
Dusty, what was more of a critical thing to accomplish last night, and what did you hold more dear, the rally and seeing the hits one after another, or that no-hitter, historic?
Well, I'll take it the way it came in that order, I'll take a pack of hits, consecutive hits, and then the no-hitter, because you can be throwing no-hitter and lose, which I've seen. So, you gotta. I'll take the hits when you can, especially when we're having trouble getting them. And so, there's nothing better than a rally. And they're like old saying, guys say, keep the line moving. And, and in modern baseball, unless there's a couple walks in there, usually you don't see a string of 3 or 4 hits in a row to score runs without a home run in there somewhere.
Go to Tyler, and then we'll go to our left.
You've had a lot of experience in postseasons. How much do you think home field advantage really does matter? Does it matter or not?
Yeah, I think it matters.
How so?
Well, I think it matters because you got the home crowd. You got familiar. You're familiar with your surroundings. You're familiar with the caroms. You're familiar with the playing surface. You get to sleep in your own bed. Which is, how come most teams don't play as well on the road as they do at home? There got to be a reason. You don't have to eat in restaurants. You can eat at home or your favorite restaurant. There's a lot of positives. Most of the time you have your kids telling you after you struck out 3 or 4 times that Dad, it's going to be okay. All that matters. If you got a dog, he don't care if you struck out 3 or 4 times. But you're on the road, and things bother you a whole lot more on the road than they do at home.
And just about your guys' home, Minute Maid Park, you've managed there a long time. What do you remember? It's one of the quirkier fields. What do you remember the first time you saw it when you were a manager? What was your first reaction to this new place?
Well, yeah, I think first time I saw it, I think we went there right after the Cincinnati Reds, I think, were in there, and they'd hit like 6 or 7 home runs up in the Crawford boxes up there. And then they had the flagpole in center field and the hill, and that was, I'm glad they took that out.
About 5 rows back on your left.
You were here for the Roy Halladay no-hitter. I wonder if you remember how that affected your clubhouse and if there was carryover the rest of that series for you guys.
Well, we end up losing. They end up going to the World Series, so, they were, they were a better team than us. They had a hell of a team and a hell of a pitch staff, when you're facing Holiday and then you got to face, oh my God, Cliff Lee was nasty. And, Jimmy Rollins and Utley and, the guys that they had over there. So I don't really remember. All I remember is that game, I think it was 2 hours and 34 minutes and 30 minutes worth of commercials. So the whole game was about 2 hours.
I'll stay on your left with Tim.
How much credit do you give to Christian Vázquez for last night?
Well, I don't think catchers get enough credit, period. For directing and guiding the pitchers to the game. Everybody talks about what a great job the pitcher did, but most of the time in games like this, the pitcher doesn't shake off much, and or he shakes off very few. I give Christian a lot of credit for for the game calling and keeping the momentum and the tempo going. During the game. Yeah, so I always give my credit. You don't know me, but I always give my catchers a lot of credit for directing the pitcher through the game.
We'll go to Ryan in the 3rd row.
Dusty, did you when you got home from last night's game, you woke up this morning, did you have a moment where you just thought, we were part of a no-hitter in the World Series, that was really cool?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I thought it last night, but then I thought this morning, game plan how we gonna win this game, because you can't. I mean, that game got to be left behind, just like we left that 7-0 game and 5 home runs behind. So, but last night, I mean, it was a momentous, joyous night for our side. But no, I just thought about how we're gonna win this game today.
A couple last ones. Tim, on your left.
Dusty, I feel like a big part of the strategic element of this series has been the left-hander through Jordan, Bregman, and Tucker. And last night, Bregman finally made him pay for that, trying to get a left-hander through those 3 guys. So I was curious if you felt like that was pivotal as well. And the second part is Bregman's actually hit right-handers better than he hit left-handers this season, which goes against his career numbers. Wondering what you've seen out of like the way he's being approached, pitched, or whatever that has led to that shift for him.
Well, sometimes, you have years like that. They got a couple guys over there that are hitting right-handers better than left-handers too. I've always said that more left-handers can get right and left-handers out than right-handers can get left and right-handers out. I mean, the ball's always moving. You gotta take your singles and doubles to the opposite field because the ball's moving. They're peeling the banana on you, sort of down and in and down and away, and so. They're not that easy to left-handers hit them out of the park. When I was playing, I mean, I'd get a lot of hits to right field off the right, but a right-hander's going to come up and in. He's going to hang a curveball. I always thought it was easier to hit a home run off a right-hander than really off a left-hander. Some guys just love right-handers, left-handers, but those that do love left-handers generally don't hit right-handers that well.
I'll finish up with Chandler in the middle.
Dusty, when's the earliest Javier would be available to pitch again?
I don't know. It wouldn't be tonight, wouldn't be tomorrow, wouldn't be the next day, so probably Game 7.
All right, Dusty, thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it. We'll see you later. And that concludes today's pregame.
Saludos, Oniel Batista, la máquina deportiva, te quedaste.
No, hermano, soy representante.